The pictures tell the story. This life had many shades. I'd wake up every morning, and before I'd start each day, I'd take a drag from last night's cigarette that smoldered in its tray. Down a little something, then be on my way.
What up, guys? Welcome back, everybody. Hey, we got to bring it tonight because, we took, 2 weeks off. So we'll start out with a good, solid fuck you, David, for some of the stuff that was said in the pre-show. So anyway, guys, and if you don't know why his name's that, stay tuned for the next 5 minutes. You'll figure it out. But anyway, cheers to everybody. Welcome to the show. Looks like we might be doing Lawnmower Whiskeys, and of course I brought up a pre-show question, and that was how many of us drink every day? And of course DJ's like, yeah. And so I was thinking about that, and I was like, I'm not talking about to get drunk. I'm talking about just to have a healthy, just a good pour or whatever. Because I'd hope none of us drink to get drunk all the time, because that would be irresponsible. And on top of that, it'd be irresponsible too, because you would be. It's not like we're drinking, plastic bottled or even Jack Daniels. We're drinking high dollar stuff in most of the cases. So anyway, enough is said about all that nonsense. How's everybody doing? What's everybody drinking? And do we have any favorite Lawnmower whiskeys?
That was literally what we were talking about. Just as summer's really hitting us and heating up, and it's like lawnmower beer is a thing. So why not lawnmower whiskey? Because we're all whiskey drinkers here. So,
but if you were going to have a lawnmower beer, would it be a Bud Light? I'm just curious. Asking for a friend.
Only if your face is on the can. Only if your face is on the can, Jody.
Let's see if we can make one of those happen for you.
Yeah. So tonight I'm having Stranahan's.
Oh, there you go.
Just to pull something off the show.
Blue Peak. That's a good one.
Yeah. So I'm having that. It's good to see everybody back. We had a couple of weeks off, so it's nice to see everybody. And I will confess, I do not mow my lawn. I pay somebody else to do that. So I shall stand at the window with a whiskey or a bourbon in my hand and watch them cut the grass.
Yes, I do. I do the exact same.
You may or may not put on clothes to do it. You might just be standing there,
No. Most of the time, it's
like the COVID black guy at the end of the bed. You know what I'm talking about.
So, but if I had to actually mow the lawn myself, I would probably do it with like a bottle of water and like some Coors Banquet beer.
Yeah.
I save the good stuff for inside in the AC or when I'm having a cigar. Yeah. So I would do beer and some water just to kind of.
So you wouldn't drink whiskey sitting out in the sun on a hot day?
Well, if I'm having a cigar,
I absolutely do that.
Yeah,
but
I know you do.
I feel like if I'm mowing the lawn, I wouldn't want grass clippings to get into my drink. I'd be upset.
Hey, Dave,
that's the reason why you need to use one of those Cafe 305 Yetis that have a top on it, and you can drink straight out of it. I'm not trying to do a shameless plug, but I am trying to say I just fixed your problem.
You did. You actually did. Cheers to you.
Try to do a shameless plug. That's.
But yeah, I'm like Billy. I do have someone that cares for my lawn, and I've reached that age that's like, he wants to do it. I'm willing to pay for him to do it. He does a fine job doing it, and I can sit right there on my deck, watch him do it as I'm enjoying my beverage of choice. And usually it depends on the heat. If it's really hot out, I want to go with something light, which will usually be a Teeling or some other Irish whiskey that's really light body-wise. But if I'm just into beer that day, Coors Light, I have no desire to have any Anheuser-Busch products whatsoever, never have. So, but yeah,
I stopped drinking Bud Light long before it was cool to be on the band.
Light, one of those. But
what about this notion? Rewarding yourself for finishing the yard that you do. So that's me, right? So I won't drink anything while I'm mowing the yard, and I got to sit down lawnmower and everything else. But when I get all done, I like to have something cold on ice. So, you know, I do a mixer with bourbons and Diet Pepsi and lime and just chill out and look at my nice yard, you know, and the sun is going down, and that's kind of like a reward, you know.
I'm with you on that. That's kind of like me. I do drink water as I mow. I don't drink whiskey while I'm mowing at all. And I have the Cadillac of 0-turn lawnmowers for my yard. And I absolutely love mowing the grass. Now I absolutely hate trimming, and so I do it in a 2-part stage, like today.
What you said, but continue. Continue.
What I said, what?
So what you said, I'm agreeing with you. Like, I like to mow. I hate the weed eater.
Oh yeah.
It's a pain in the ass.
The trimming part, I'd almost rather be anal raped by a fucking mule or something. I mean, it's horrible to do that. All right, it's just not my thing, and
I'll pull weeds. I'm sorry.
I mean, I just hate it. It seems like I was doing. That's what I did today in between teaching classes and stuff. I went ahead and took care of all of the trimming because I hate doing that. And I know tomorrow I have to take Preston to the doctor and all, and he's got a surgery going on in the morning. So, and it's just 4 wisdom teeth. I shouldn't say it like it's nonchalant because it should be a good time and great video that I'll probably provide to all my friends in the VIP. But I'm hoping that we get to take the big truck because that would be good times for all. I mean, absolutely hilarious. Hopefully I can get the nurse to maybe hold the camera while we're trying to, you know, jack his ass up in there. But anyway, so when you look at like mowing, and I am just like DJ, I absolutely love to mow. And when I'm done, I sit back and I'm like, dude, and I just stare at all the greatness that just happened, right? Yeah. The lawn looks great. I'm happy. My dog, my little sidekick, is there with me. But I have been recently, after I come in, take a shower and stuff, I go and get into the cold tub and do a cold plunge with a glass of whiskey. And then I'm usually listening to some type of betterment type of podcast or something like that to help free my mind while I meditate a little bit in the water. But that's what I do. That's me. And when it comes to like good whiskey, anything Bardstown going to happen. I had the other day, the last time unfortunately, we were under a large spell of rain for the last couple of weeks. But hey, there's Jay.
Hey, Jay.
I'm going to see him on Saturday. But anyway, what I was going to say about that was we've been under a large spell of it. So it's been a week. But the last time I mowed the grass, I actually sat back with 22 Bomburgers and had poured that into a glass, and that was fantastic while I was in the cold tub. Ice floating around me, so I didn't need to put ice in the glass. Nope. And just freezing my Johnson off and having a good time.
That's the way to do it, man. I mean, so I have like you, I can't stand a weed whack when I'm all done, and sometimes I just split it up over 2 days. But when I get done mowing, man, I mean, I just sit there and enjoy, you know, and look at my accomplishment, you know.
Don't you feel like an adult? Like you get done, you're like, holy hell, I'm like a real dad now.
Yeah.
I understand that, but it was for me, it was the actual hate of trimming that led me to say, yeah, younger gentlemen, by all means, have at it.
Oh, dude, I absolutely hate trimming. I hate it. I loathe it with all my heart. I think it's the one thing that keeps you close to realizing how close hell really is in your life.
It sucks. It sucks.
What's the plastic spool and the weed eater? And
dude, isn't that a pain in the ass too? You sit there fucking with that all the time.
I got so mad at my last one.
More out.
I just stopped using it and bought a brand new one, figuring that it would be it'd be less painful. You know, get a different one. So I went from a Craftsman to a Still. Yeah. Okay, Still means it's still a pain in the ass to deal with.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I wish there was a better way of weed whacking. That would be $1 million invention. No, other than paying somebody else. Like if you could buy one that was just like it was almost gave you the same type of fun that the 0-turn gives you, we'd all love it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Listen, I mean, do you know how hard it is to Zell somebody when you're drunk? The lawn guy?
It's true. True.
Fucking up my vibe.
I was gonna say, and you get hosed up if you add too many zeros in there.
Yeah, you write that check before you pour that drink.
Exactly.
I used to do that. And I enjoyed having. And the people have been here in my house. They know I have a rather large yard, and I used to pay somebody to do my yard all the time, and then I'd get so freaking pissed because I'm kind of a perfectionist and I'm OCD, and I'm like, dude, how could you possibly miss that? Like, I could see that driving up the driveway. Like, it's the reason why I don't let Preston cut the grass much, because it's like, I know you're learning and all that, but you're taking one of my only joys away. But I'm going to have to mow it again anyhow, right?
No.
So.
No. I legitimately do not care that much. If it's done, it's done.
When the gentleman shows up to do my lawn, I'm out on the porch. I'm watching. I'm observing him, and so I'm watching what he's doing. And before the money slides out of my hand, it's like, take a look over there. I don't think. No, that's not quite right. And I am very picky about my lawn, and so he has learned over a period of time exactly what I'm looking for, exactly what I'm wanting out of it. And so, now there's no issue. He does it exactly the way I want it done. I don't have to screw with it. I don't have to break out the damn weed eater anymore. So,
see, that's an interesting term. I call it a trimmer. And I noticed here in the South, almost everyone calls it a weed eater. And I'm like, what the fuck's a weed eater? And
it's one of them Southern colloquial things, man.
Well, it's just like a hose pipe. I learned that for the first time too in here. I'm like, what the fuck's a hose pipe? Like, is that some kind of sexual
like a hose
thing? Yeah, like a garden hose.
They call it a hose pipe?
I've heard people here call it a hose pipe.
Yeah.
Man, what the fuck's a hose pipe?
I've heard the term before, but like that's not right. That's someone's making a mistake there. There's nothing wrong with it.
I agree. I was like, this is not the kind of relationship.
It all depends. All
I
depends
just
where you're
want to know
from.
if you had a garden hose around here.
You have the poles and you have the pipe coming out the wall.
No, that's not it. It's just the
that's
hose
from what
in
I've
general.
known it as.
But no, it's just the hose in
who's
general.
outside?
They'll call
There's
it a hose pipe.
I do hear something that
Birds
sounds
or
like somebody
bugs or
outside or something. Yeah.
Y'all hear that?
Yeah, I hear birds.
I would say something about a hose pipe, but I don't know who's listening.
It don't matter.
It don't matter. We offend everyone.
It's right now. It's David and Jay and maybe the FBI. I don't know.
I was gonna say that there was a lady that we referred to here as a hose something or other, but I'm not really sure what it wasn't a hose pipe, but it was close.
All right, let's get back on track. Rob, so what would be your lawnmower drink?
Well, I don't have a very large yard. In total, I can trim and cut my front and back lawn in about 45 minutes total.
Damn.
So you have all electric, zip, 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 done.
45 minutes. I hadn't even got around the pool yet.
And yes, there are really high chances that I'm probably having a drink while I'm doing it. And
that's why the cup holder's in the mower.
This is the content we came here for tonight.
My riding mower had a cup holder there. That's what it was for.
Depending on what time of the day I'm doing it, right? So if I'm feeling really energetic and I'm getting up at 7:30 and I'm going out and I'm trimming, and I'm probably going to do a little coffee with. I'm going to do my coffee with a significant amount of bourbon cream. If it's in the afternoon, I'm looking at something like a diet ginger beer, like a Kentucky Mule.
Wait a minute, there's a diet ginger beer? I've never heard of that.
Mm-hmm. Gosling's makes a diet ginger beer.
Didn't know that.
Yellow. I can't remember the name of the. There's a couple of diet ginger beers.
And if you can find it, Dr. Brown's makes a really good diet ginger.
It's delicious.
Ginger beer.
But yeah, I mean that's because those are real. That's a really nice kind of lifting thing on a hot afternoon of grass cutting or mulching or whatever the hell I decided to do.
with that.
And by the way, Jody, or were you? Did I see you just kick a Bardstown?
Yeah, I just killed it. Yeah.
Was that a fusion?
It was.
What number?
Hold on. I think it was number 7, but it might be number 6. It's number 6.
Ooh,
yeah. Nice.
I like 6.
But this one right
That
here
was a
is
good
my
one.
son's bottle, so I'll keep this one. It has his name on it. It has his football number, and it has his high school.
Yeah, I'm doing a 7 right now.
I have a 7 upstairs that I like. I also have a 3 upstairs that I've had forever, and or maybe it's a 2. I'm not sure. But either way, it's not one of my favorite.
I did not like 2.
Yeah, it was very peaty. I think it might be a 2. It was very peaty. It was very much a Scotch.
I would have to say 5 was my favorite.
5 and 6 are my favorite by far.
5 was just flat out delicious. I think they hit on the nail right on the head with number 5.
What number
I
was
just
the
cracked
PD
this
one?
one tonight, so
I think I have it upstairs. I would go upstairs and look. It's in my upstairs
all good.
collection. But I think it's a 3 or maybe it's a 2. I'm not sure. But
it's one of the early ones.
Yeah. They mixed. By the way, that sound you're hearing, I turned off my mic to make sure it wasn't me, and it's not. So it is somebody that's there. That's not me. So
I'm in my basement, so I don't know what it could be.
What sound are we hearing?
you don't hear that sound. It sounds like
It sounds like crickets or I don't know
it
what
sounds
the
like
hell,
somebody's
birds
outside.
or something.
Either way, it's a
Yeah.
nice mood music. I'm cool with
Yeah.
it. So we move on.
It's what you hear when you're sitting out in your backyard after you finish mowing, right? And you're enjoying, the nice trimmings in the evening and what have you. And you're pouring
Hang
a
on
drink.
second. Let me know if it's gone real quick. It might be the crickets in the bearded dragon cage. Hang on.
No, still hear
No,
that shit.
still going.
No, it ain't the bearded
Rob,
dragon.
humor us. Mute yourself briefly.
Yeah,
Not
No,
Rob.
still going. I muted myself already.
Hey, so at least
It wasn't you. It wasn't you.
All right,
Ross got to leave me
Rob.
alone this time. That's fucking
You know what?
hilarious.
We're
All
spending
right.
way too much time on this, and it's not really. It
It's
doesn't even
okay.
matter. But I used to have a small yard, and I used to have like a push mower, and it was miserable. And on those days, back in the day when I used to do that, it would be Guinness was my drink of choice. Afterwards,
Yeah.
have a Guinness. But since then, I've become much more refined and more adult, and bought a freaking. David was with me when I bought the lawnmower that I got.
Yeah.
Almost went with the even bigger size with the
Isn't
like
it the Toro thing? I can't
Yeah,
remember the name of it.
it's a Toro. But
Yeah.
remember, I was going to get the Titan that had the
Oh yeah,
light rack and
It's
everything. on it.
ridiculously ostentatious. Like he's gonna be out there at 2 a.m, getting his lines just right, But yeah,
But you know what's funny is I have a 2-car garage that's technically a 3-car garage, but it's a 2-car garage that nothing parks in because it's my gym and my parking spot for my Toro. That's it.
Yep.
Jaguar
Yeah,
parks
you were
outside,
talking about
and
that.
my truck parks outside.
People, up at 2 a.m. to get their lines straight. Yeah, I've got neighbors that are like that. Their lawn has to be absolutely perfect.
I can't.
They do the fancy little diagonal designs in there,
You,
and it's like an outfield in baseball. If you notice how that's mowed.
Well, you know what's
It's
funny is that was my
and
retirement
it's gonna be
plan. Was
perfect every which way.
I'm gonna be honest with you. That was my retirement plan. I wanted to be like, I'm a season ticket holder for Vanderbilt baseball, and I go to a lot of their games, and I love Vanderbilt baseball. But prior to them going to all turf, I would look for that job show up because I was like, wow, that old black man, he's about ready to be done. Like that was mowing the grass. And I was like, at some point they're going to need a new guy to do this. And it can be like an old white guy. And I was like, that's the dream job. All right. Like I wanted to do that. I wanted to do the lines. I wanted to pull, drag the field, all of that. Just wanted to be part of it. Like, I don't even care if they paid me like, I don't know, 25, 30,000 a year. I don't care. I just wanted to do that. That would be awesome. And then they went turf, and I guess the old black man died. I don't know. He seemed like a really nice guy. I talked to him a few times because I was like, hey, so how much longer you got left? And he was like, oh, I've been here 32 years. I did. I talked like everybody would talk to baseball players or Coach Corbin or whatever. I'm over there with the old black man.
He's out there talking.
I'm like, so real quick, how much longer you got left? Because like I really want your job,
That's funny.
It's true story though. I swear to God. Swear to Christ.
Yeah, Dave,
I don't know the exact number.
His name is Charles, by the way.
The people who do the field for the professional teams, like football, especially, those dudes make crazy money.
I know. I want that job.
Crazy
and I would
money.
take it a lot less. You just give me a kick-ass lawnmower and let me just get out there and ride around. I would love the shit out of that.
Well, you can still go out and water the infield.
No, you can't. It's turf. The whole field is turf.
No. Well, I'm talking about the baseline, not the infield.
No, the entire field, to include baseline, is turf now.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that just sucks.
Yeah, the entire field. Almost all stadiums are like that now.
Huh.
Wow.
All right. So did we get to David? David, what's your lawnmower drink?
Me, while I'm mowing, I might drink a beer, but I probably won't really imbibe until I'm done and I'm rewarding myself, kind of a la Jody. But I would go lower proof, honestly. For me, I would grab something that's probably 80 proof, probably a rum. If I'm being real honest, I'd probably get like some Diplomatico or something like that. Have myself a rum to reward myself for going through the weed eating more than the mowing. The mowing I don't mind. I fucking hate a weed eater.
Trimming,
but
that's horrible.
It sucks.
I actually destroyed a weed eater once. I got so damn mad at the thing. I
have two, and I have a second one now. I have
full
a new
on
one
rage out. Yeah,
I had the exact same thing happen. I now have a Toro, which I paid a little bit more money for because of the exact same thing. I got mad, threw a fit like I was on a golf course, and that some bitch doesn't work anymore.
To it. Yeah,
that some bitch don't work anymore.
You're too good for your home.
What I want to know from David is, David, what's the strangest thing you've ever done for some rum? You strike me as the kind of dude that would do some strange
for rum.
Well, he's friends with me. That'd
pay money.
Well, there you go, right there.
I've never exchanged, a favor for rum. Like,
no sex. So,
no.
David, if I hooked you up to a lie detector and asked you if you did something sexual for some rum, it would say you're not lying. You sure about that?
Yeah, you can hook my ass up to that.
I'm just giving you shit.
For rum.
I'm just giving you shit.
Scotch, that might be different. He's got a thing for scotch, dude. The more dirt you pour in it, the more Dave likes it.
Oh, give me the peat and the smoke and the earthy, boggy foulness.
Yeah.
Just let me have it.
Take up on Dave's side on that rum. There's some very damn good rums out there.
Oh no, for sure.
That a lot of people don't realize. They just bypass. They get the mass-produced shit that's marketed for kids, and they don't bother to look.
Marketed for kids.
And it's funny you guys were just talking
about that because I'm almost
Sailor Jerry cracking.
Those people at 21 years old are just now legally drinking. They're kids.
Right.
Dude.
I would hope
they're gonna buy what they've seen commercials.
I would hope that my son would go, "Hey, Dad, I just turned 21." And of course, when he turns 21, all of us will be here for it. If I fly you down myself, we're all going to be here for it and we may do a dirty rabbit for that. That would be fun.
Oof.
Yeah.
Billy, you see what he lit up? He's like,
Hold on, let me make the reservations now. When's his birthday?
His birthday is August 17th, but he's getting ready to turn 17, so that's a few more years from now. But
4 years, man. That's only 4 years.
Listen, your name will still be in the book, and it'll be a little.
Yeah, he's gonna look through it and go, "Dad, you've already been here." I'm like, I know.
Mm-hmm. Why is your picture on the wall?
That looks superimposed. What happened?
Oh no!
You see, what had happened is
what happened was it's funny though that you just finished the Bartstown. So the wife, bless her heart, she's such a great woman. Took me to Orlando for Father's Day just to kind of get away from it all for a little bit.
Yeah, because I'm still waiting on that thing you're supposed to send me in the email.
It's coming. Don't worry. It's coming. So we found this place called the Whiskey. Great burgers. And of course, they had plenty of whiskey. So we go there one night. It was really good. We go back a second time. And as we're pulling into the parking lot, there's a Jeep parked behind me, and there's another Jeep coming in. It's all fixed up and whatnot. So, in the Jeep world, if you see a Jeep and there's an empty spot next to it, you're supposed to park next to it. So I kind of gave the guy shit because he didn't park next to me. So him and his family come into the restaurant as well. They couldn't find a place. So I invited him to come sit with me and Kay. And turns out when I tell you, you can find your tribe, you can find your tribe. So he was a Jeep guy, a movie guy, a bourbon guy, and a cigar guy. What are the odds? And so I bought a round of Bardstown, the number 6, and he bought, I think it was the Belvini. So it was interesting that, the Bardstown, I actually really enjoyed it. And I just happened to see it sitting there.
In the bar downstairs right here where I'm at tonight. Because I don't normally, sometimes I'm in my office, but I have the Belvini from when you were here.
Mm-hmm. But I do.
Bar down right below me.
That's a nice.
We was just as we were in and around town. Bardstown is getting to be more and more expensive.
It is. Yeah. It's first of all, it's legit, man. Like I'm trying my best not to talk up, which is probably my favorite bourbon right now is Company. I just sent one to one of our viewers down in Florida. His wife reached out to me. We're classmates, and she reached out to me. She's like, "Hey, where can I find the Company?" I'm like, "Where you live?" And she told me, and I'm like, "You're not gonna find it there." I said, "But that's okay. I'll go pick it up for you, and I'll send it to you." And she tried to pay me for it. I'm like, "There's no reason to pay me for it." She goes, "Can I at least pay for shipping?" I'm like, "No, that's not what we do. We just send each other stuff, right?" And he's a viewer. He watches our show, and so I'm like, and he had heard us always talking about it. The Company, readily available, pretty much here in Tennessee. But I'm gonna tell you what, in my opinion, that is an everyday great, like top shelf whiskey.
You can't go wrong with it.
Cannot go wrong with it. And if you get the one that's not cask strength, it's still freaking good. Their rye is fantastic as well. I use that for a lot of cooking now that David got on to me about the Uncle Nearest. So
I will buy your own fucking bottle of just a regular Uncle Nearest rye if you like it that much to cook.
Oh, dude.
But damn it to hell. Leave the distillery only release alone.
Yeah.
Seriously, dude. Come on, man.
No, I had told Billy about this, right? And he's seen it. He got to taste it when he came out here to stay with me. He got to taste it.
I got it so we could have it when we
here's the point. When you put rye whiskey, and specifically, in my opinion, good rye whiskey in barbecue sauce, it really brings that smoky, hot taste to the whatever you're eating. In this case, hot wings.
Have you tried Redemption rye with that? With cooking?
I haven't. The one I'm gonna try next with it is
because that's very front loaded. Is
the Buzzard's Roast straight rye whiskey that's toasted barrel as well. And I have a full bottle of that, and it's pretty good. I actually like it. It's a really good bottle. And I'm not a
guy who's not a rye drinker.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not a rye drinker at all. But that's not true. The Uncle Nearest, that is fantastic.
That's damn good rye.
That is a good rye. Yep.
And as a non-rye drinker, that is a fantastic rye. So, and my only problem, back to the lawnmower thing, my only problem is like, most of you guys know I've been bit by a brown recluse on my foot. Well, I think I got bit recently on my arm.
What the fuck is wrong with you? Like I don't know. You're always getting hurt. What is?
I don't know. And this is the reason why we have the
you got your elbow titty and like.
And what did I say about the elbow titty? I said that when you put a nipple on it, because when I was walking, it would have been cute to have it behind.
It would have been cute. You would have.
It'd been like prison.
Turned more heads than normal, apparently. But
I don't know why, but this reminds me when I went up to see Jody. We went over to Uncle Nearest Distillery.
Yeah, we did.
And we decided to go and get something to eat. Mm-hmm. And as we're standing in line, there's these people standing behind us. Mm-hmm. And I offered to buy Jody lunch. And he was like, "No, you don't have to do that." So I had a moment. So I flirted really hard with Jody. You should have seen the people behind us.
But that's because I played along, though.
It was really entertaining.
I was like,
it was perfect timing.
I mean, if we're going to be in this type of relationship, I'm totally down with that. And then I turned around and looked at them, and I was like, hey, I got a black bear. It is what it is. I mean, you guys have all seen the COVID black man, right? So it's just like the same thing.
That's okay. Just remind me in the after show. I have a story to tell you about similar situation.
Oh man.
Speaking of after show, I wish we had what's his name? The guy that came down here that was doing all the runs. Oh man, I'm having a brain fart. You know who I'm talking about. You went and meet him. You met him in Hal. Yes. Hal. That
Hal
guy
from Delaware. Is it Delaware or is he in Maryland? He's in Maryland.
Connecticut.
Oh, he is.
Yeah.
Is he in Connecticut?
I think so. He might be in Delaware.
I thought he was a Delaware guy.
It could be a Delaware, but it's one of those. It's either Connecticut or Delaware. I could be wrong, but it's.
You should reach out to Hal. It's been a while.
I have. He and I mean, we both work out all the time, so it's those things. But I'm gonna tell you what, his after show conversations were the best.
They really were.
Like
he would tell so many like very embarrassing stories about himself that he cannot tell publicly.
Him and then my non-drinking friend that I had on here. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. What happened to him?
Well,
where's he been?
He's supposed to be moving down here.
Because it was like when we started this, it was in smack in the middle of COVID, and he would come on camera looking like he's literally like being kept in like a basement room somewhere, like he was a prisoner.
He's got like 5 kids.
Of his family. Of his family. Like he's like
got the kids. He's coaching hockey constantly. Yeah. He's playing hockey.
Yeah, he plays hockey. Right. He's a goalie. But yep. I miss that guy too. Miss Annie on the show. She was. I'm talking about not crazy Annie. You know what I'm talking about.
No.
Regular Annie.
Yeah. What's the chances of having two Annies on the show and one of them not being crazy?
Hey,
or one of them being crazy.
Jody, are you okay? Are you okay, Jody?
No, by the way, now that we have a lull and we're half hour into this, what is everybody drinking tonight?
Oh
yeah. It's probably a good idea.
We already said the Bardstown 7, so I'm good.
The Bardstown.
I'll kick it off. A dog shampoo that made its way out of Tennessee.
Very nice.
This is the cask strength.
Lovely.
I don't know if you can quite read that.
Billy and I've had quite a few of those together.
Flippin' delicious. If you've ever had them.
I think David might have been there for some of those too.
Yeah.
If you've ever had the regular company, this is the same profiles are still there, but it's just stepped up a notch.
You know what's funny is though it doesn't have the heat. You actually just feel it.
It's there.
Yes, you feel it. You're like, wow, I had one drink and I poured what I normally pour, and I feel like I've had 4 of them. You know, it's one of those kind of
last night I was talking about the big mustache in the VIP chat, and the finish on that just went on and on and on. Mm-hmm. And the further it went, the warmer and warmer it got. This is not like that, even though it's cast strength. I mean, this is 58.5%. Okay, so it's got some proof to it. Sure. But it does not flow that way. It's freaking delicious. I would love to have even more of it, but yeah, I'm going to have to move to Tennessee to get a regular stream of this stuff.
And dude, I'm your Dr. Feelgood. I'll make sure it happens.
Excuse me. And the one thing I will say about the company, they put all the efforts, money, and know-how into the product.
Yeah, you can tell.
Sorry, I was a jackass.
And not the building, because if you didn't know any better, you would drive right past the place. So they really do put all the efforts and energies into the actual product. We got to see the inner workings of the building, and what I loved about it is it's definitely nothing to write home about, but the product definitely speaks for itself.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, the bottles that I've tried of it, fantastic.
They're not about.
It makes me in and of itself makes me want to take a trip, not just to go down and see Jody and Dave in Tennessee, but to go down, see them, and go there.
Yeah,
this is fantastic stuff. And I am seriously jealous.
You're not going to be blown away by that place. Like he's describing.
The thing about it is,
it's like a shed.
the juice is what really makes it for me. And the thing about it is, I would go down there just to have more of that.
It's worth it.
But I will tell you what, I was actually really impressed with when we went to Leapers Fort. First of all, that is a fantastic distillery. I've been to a lot of distilleries. That is beautiful. It's quiet. It's very humble-like, but it's right in a very rich part of
It looked
Tennessee.
nice from pictures.
Yeah, it's like in a very, very like Kid Rock lives next door to the place. Like and he has a replica of the White House that's bigger than the White House on his property.
Of course he does.
What?
That's a true story. He has a gold,
I believe
he has a gold elevator too. We seen his property. We just couldn't go there because it had a bunch of signs that said "Do not cross." And I was like, "Could we? Like, maybe? I'm okay with trying it. You know, me and a black guy going across the you know."
Hey, just so long as you don't look like a Bud Light can, you'll be all right.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Because he obviously has an ATF Class 3 or Type 3 license. Otherwise, he would have been arrested already.
Yeah, for sure. I was going to ask real quick to break into this. Jody, what time do you think start on Saturday?
1 o'clock.
1 o'clock. I have to leave by 5, but I could make it out for a bit.
You're so toasty.
There you go. Yeah. You can come out, bring your swim trunks. If you need to take a shower, I have a shower. You know, I have 3 of them in this house.
It's true.
And you can take a shower here.
I can make it out for a bit.
Okay. You've been visiting the showers.
Yeah, I got it because I have a thing at 6. So yeah.
David, change your plans to 7.
So guys, what happened was, and I'll be.
I went to Joey's.
It's gonna be.
No, don't you. No, you're gonna make it back home in time. Because I'm gonna tell you what. Otherwise, Janie will not even let me come to the wedding.
This is true.
Like it's always my fault.
There could be consequences for both of us.
Yeah, but it'd be mostly me. Like it's because I can imagine. Because
I want to come out. You know.
I do the same thing. I'm like, Dave. It's the reason why I'm a jackass.
But you know what? Though?
Not to interrupt again. But Dave, when that occurs. There better be a lot of reservations and invitations.
Well, I mean, the only thing that I'm worried about.
You're already on the list, sir.
David, myself, and Jody might not make it to the wedding because between Tootsie's and the Dirty Rabbit,
it's going to be both of them. They're like
it's going to be
this far apart on the map.
It's going to be the hangover. You remember when Bradley Cooper is on the phone?
He's like, we fucked up.
Y'all cannot leave me.
But hey, here's the difference.
Real.
Here's the difference here. You're gonna make that call because there ain't no way I'm calling you.
Oh no,
even though I have her phone number. There's no way I'm calling her and saying, "Hey, look, we fucked up." I don't know where
that.
Hey, but here's the thing: wait until you see the face tattoo Dave gets.
You know, it'd be funny if we could do like a big cock on his forehead.
Listen, I'm sorry, but the Dirty Rabbit has him now.
I wasn't even going to drink tonight. You guys, this is really
we're a bad influence, Jody.
So the other topic we had today, I drink just about every day.
Yes.
And thanks to my beautiful wife, we have a cigar just about every day. Yes. So
Billy really needs to be the one to run this show. If I'm being honest, he's the only one who keeps it together.
I try. I try.
I mean, I'm looking at my phone right now.
We appreciate you, brother.
You're watching midgets and
no, I was. That's not true. I was.
You heard that music? That was definitely a midget.
No, real quick. No, that wasn't that earlier. It was something else. But no, I was looking at knives.
You're looking at knives.
I have really nice knives, and I'm always looking to buy more knives. And Billy knows this. He's like, you got nice
knives.
I keep my K-bar in the back seat of my Jeep underneath. That thing's probably not legal in most states.
What, a K-bar?
Yeah.
No, K-bar is legal everywhere.
Oh, okay, good.
It's a Marine Corps knife. As long as you're not up in Idaho, killing like some people that. First of all, it's wrong to say, and I don't mean to make this a joke, but as long as you're not killing people in Idaho that are sleeping in their fraternity house or whatever, you should be good.
Is that a thing?
Yeah.
No,
have you not heard of that?
No.
By the way, real quick, what we should, I've seen and there is people on this channel that have made fun of it. Those people who died in the submarine. That's sad. All right.
No,
I mean,
very sad. Absolutely.
it is very sad.
That's a shitty way to go.
Yes.
Dude,
and
yeah.
what's funny, not funny, what's ironic is that the Navy came out today, and they said, and I was thinking about this the whole time, because I know some of I'm not going to go into it, but the Navy has certain things that are out there to listen all the time. Mm-hmm. And I was like, the Navy already knows this. They actually imploded several days ago. And that's what I said to myself if they didn't find them. And then the Navy announced it today that they did hear that they imploded a few days ago.
Yep.
What was the depth?
They were 1,600 feet off the bow of the Titanic. So they were at the 2.5 miles.
Yeah. Okay. So they surpassed the crush depth of the hull of the submarine.
Right.
Boom.
So
but that submarine had been there before, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. And several
I had
times
said
with other people, and
I saw something about like faulty construction or low quality
like
carbon fiber or something. I don't know.
The guy who built it, he skipped several different things that are supposed to be there as far as regulations. But it was like it made several trips before this one. This one just happened to go awry.
Yeah, but you also have a hull fatigue after a certain amount of time.
Yeah, there is hull fatigue. That's absolutely true. The Navy accounts for that, and so does the Russian Navy and the Chinese Navy and all that. Anybody building submarines all the time. The reason why they don't go 2.5 miles deep, right? There's only 10 submarines on the planet that are registered to go that deep or deeper, right? And they're all research vessels, and all of those are unclassified research vessels, right? So to me, when I look at that, all I can think about is those last moments. Like, did it just I don't know if you guys remember.
I wasn't going to drink a lot tonight.
But no, what I was going to say is that, see, when I went into the Navy is about the time the Thrasher imploded.
I remember the Thrasher.
All right, so that was right in I think it was early 90s. I'm not 100% sure, but it was right around that time frame.
Yeah.
And I could be wrong. And if anybody wants to fact check me, that's fine. I'm okay with that. I'm just saying that I think that's when it was. But anyway, I remember hearing about that. I remember that being on TV prior to going in. I was like, there's no way I'm going to the sub Navy. There's no way. Like, you're in there, and then that thing right there passed all of its sea trials until it was doing its final set of sea trials and then imploded. And you're like, oh my God. Like, how does that happen?
That seems like
that's when during sea trials, that's when they do that bounce to real close to crush depth.
Yep. They do it. They do it. And
so
but only for the Thrasher, it was only 800 and something feet though.
Yeah. I spent 3 years on a submarine tender. So
David said he joined in 91. He remembers that too.
Yeah. And I joined in 94. So, I went to boot camp in 94. So, yeah, I don't remember all of it, but that was one of the things I remember is the Thrasher, and I was like, oh my God, that sucks. I don't want to do that part of the Navy. Nope. And so I went air crew, rescue swimmer side, and all of that, and then. Well, I was just never part of that. I would have said that. I was never part of that nonsense. It just wasn't. And I'm okay with that. I was more on the side of tracking those guys than on the side of ever being in one. And don't get me wrong, some of those guys that went in there, they did some great things. I mean, submarine duty. I have one of my good friends, one of my great friends is his name's Aaron. He loves sub duty. He's truly a culinary specialist on a submarine, and those guys do eat like kings. All right, he's a chief petty officer on a submarine, and he loves it. He thinks it's the greatest thing on earth. And I'm sitting there going,
"Is he a fast attack or boomers?"
He's done both. And so, don't get me wrong, boomers is a much more luxurious type of lifestyle.
Yeah.
For those who don't understand the language, fast attack submarines are your submarines that they're sub hunters essentially. They hunt other submarines or ships and stuff like that, and they pull into a ton of ports. Boomers go and sit under the ice, or they go and sit someplace and they're there for 90 days, 6 months, whatever. They just sit there and they're waiting for the phone call. And when I say the phone call, I literally mean that. They have this communication system that they use, and that obviously I can't talk about, but they use this communication.
Phone, right?
It's similar to that, but they have this communication system, and that's when they know to launch. That's really what it is. Literally what it is.
It's an underwater interballistic missile system.
Yep.
Platform. That's
ballistic.
That's what it is.
Ballistic
ballistics.
Systems. Yep.
Yeah.
Cool.
So when you see those ones that are shooting out these nuclear war tip, missiles, that's a boomer.
Yeah.
Your fast attack submarines can shoot out guided missiles, like
Mark 48s.
Yep. Well, that's torpedo, but yes.
Yeah.
Yep. You have those as well, but you have the tomahawks and stuff like that. Yep.
Yeah.
So they shoot out all of those.
Yeah.
And they can shoot out a lot of them. I think they can carry, I don't know what the number is, but they can carry like a substantial amount of tomahawks.
Yeah.
But I don't want to get ourselves in trouble with the government. So
Nope.
how about we don't?
I told you we got three people in the FBI.
What else are we drinking tonight? DJ.
So
DJ.
Yes, sir.
What are you drinking tonight?
Well, as you can tell, this was really, really bad stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm glad you're getting rid of it.
Roses.
So there's the Four Roses limited edition 22 release barrel strength.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's
Nice.
very, very, very nice. And I'm just bummed that I don't have another one, but I'm going to save this for
That one last drink.
Yeah,
For the next time you mow.
No, that is not.
That's not Lawnmower Whiskey.
That doesn't meet mowing.
No,
across a field of victory, and you
like the Evan Williams White Label. That's the drink after mowing. Something like that. Just the mixer. But no, I've really enjoyed this bottle. It's really good, and it's kind of a bummer that it's almost gone.
Coming to the end of a good bottle.
Yeah, but I've had some good times with it. On Friday nights, I get together with my brother and a couple of my cousins, and we do a beer a tasting on Zoom on Friday nights, and so it's a lot of fun, and we swap stories and tell lies, and it's all good.
I think
fantastic.
I think Rob, we haven't found out what you're drinking tonight, have we?
I said Bardstown 7.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I didn't say I'm having a little.
Granddad, is that the bonded?
Ooh, bonded. Okay.
This to me,
Nothing wrong with that.
It just feels like a summer drink to me. I don't know. It's just.
Well, Jody, now that you did that,
go ahead, DJ.
I was just going to say, Jody, I think you killed your bottle. So what's next?
I don't know. I'm actually standing here looking at my phone right now.
I got you.
I don't know.
So that was something else we talked a little bit about in chat. Like, so outside of lawnmower whiskeys and lawnmower drinks, is there something particular that you will drink in the summer? Because I'm looking at like something that's going to lighten up or be a little refreshing or be a little. All right.
There you go.
I go Irish.
And that's a fresh crack. Is that a fresh crack there, Jody?
It is. It's the one I'm going to use this weekend too. I'm going to let it. It's going to be one of the ones I'm going to offer up if somebody wants to take home.
It's a good thing you got rid of that neck pour, man.
I was about to say. Thanks for taking one for the team, man.
Yeah, for the neck pours. Taking
that neck pour.
So, when I get into summertime and, if I'm not putting it on ice just to sit outside and kind of cool off in the heat, I'm looking for like things that are a little lighter or, it's a ginger beer or I stopped at a local place that just opened in our cocktail bar, and the bartender made me one of the best freaking whiskey sours I've had in a long, like an old school traditional whiskey sour. It had the whiskey, it had the egg white, it had the lemon sours, and he took it till it got that that beautiful white foam on the top of the glass when he poured it. Oh, I'm like, now that is a great summer drink.
Oh, no.
Yeah. What about a bourbon slushy? Has anybody played around with like freezing bourbon and ice cubes?
Look at Gene, like, yep, I love it.
Yes. Matter of fact, here in about 2 weeks, I will have a whole batch of those sitting there in the freezer.
Yeah.
I use Evan Williams for that.
Sure.
And they're absolutely freaking delicious.
Yeah.
My neighbor, he made, I don't really know if you would call it a slushy or not, but I had a bottle of what the hell was it? It was a rye, and he added a little bit of a sweet tea and like crushed ice to it just to kind of freshen it up. He seemed to enjoy it a lot. He's like, would it offend you because he knows how I am about whiskey, like not wanting to like cut it with Sprite or something like that if it's any quality. Damn, what was that Memphis rye?
I'll have to share my recipe.
Yeah.
So
the other,
please do.
I'll put it in the VIP.
So for the summertime here in Miami, anything mojito, like the original
Riverside.
mojito.
Sorry, go ahead.
Mango. You have like your coconut, things like that. We are mojito fiends down here in Miami. So for the summer, that's what we go for.
Love a good mojito.
Or what's called an ice pick, where you take Public sweet iced tea.
Iced tea and lemon. Iced tea and vodka, man.
That, or we use the Malibu rum.
Oh, okay.
With the Public sweet iced tea. So usually when you go to the beach, you kind of mix. You get 2 half gallons, and you mix them. So you still end up with 2 gallons, but you do half the rum and half the iced tea, and you just serve it up just like that.
As a youth, I had some friends who were into boating, and in Pennsylvania, in Pittsburgh in particular, is the second largest licensee of boats in the United States, next to like Miami-Dade.
Yeah,
I don't know how that's possible without when you think
Three
about
Rivers, brother.
3 Rivers.
Can I finish?
3 Rivers.
When you think about Minnesota, though, like Minnesota has 10,000 lakes. How could you have more boaters than Minnesota?
Jody, it's amazing.
No, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying that I just don't know how that's like. I want to look at the study of that. Is there any data that can research?
A bunch of steel workers that had disposable income and wanted to get drunk on a boat.
By the way, if I go back in time, I would be a welder underwater on a oil platform. That's what I wanted to do. I should have done it. I didn't. That's what I wanted to do.
Well, the other thing too, Jody, is the 10,000 lakes in Minnesota, they freeze over. The Monongahela or the Ohio does not.
That's true.
They don't.
Make a very valid point.
And that's one of our the other claim to fame that we have here in Miami is that the Port of Miami is the cruise capital of the world for like the last 20 years.
If you've not seen it, it really is a sight. It really is a sight.
And like there's nobody even close. Every year here in Miami, there's always a tally at the end of the year to see who produced the most money, either the airport or the Port of Miami. And the Port of Miami always kills
Port of Miami. Every time I hear that term, I think of Narcos. Man, that is such a great show.
It really is a good show.
Oh my God. It's the greatest show ever.
When are they going to come up with a new season?
What?
I mean, not of Narcos, but like Narcos Mexico. It seems like the story wasn't really finished.
No, it's not, because I have another one coming.
Good.
This based on El Chapo. I have already researched this. I know this. It's not going to be out to next year, but I have researched this.
Well, good. I'm glad they're coming back with it.
But I agree with you. They just let it go. It's like, so we stopped. We're done. So, but yeah.
Yeah, it's because it's been a couple of years, I feel like.
Speaking of
oh wow, it was more recent. Narcos Mexico was more recent than that. But anyway, neither here nor there. A show I'm excited about that just came back is The Bear. And for those of you who are chefs or like cooking, love that show. It's got I can't remember the dude's name, but he was in Shameless. He was one of the sons, and he basically plays a chef of like I guess like a sandwich shop in Chicago, and like just the whole vibe of like working in a kitchen and all the drama and stuff like that. Like it's really cool to me. So I'm very excited. I'll be watching this weekend for sure.
I will say this: it's a very accurate.
I'm sorry,
depiction.
I got laughing at David.
Why?
This David.
Oh, well done.
In the day,
that's not. What's funny is when that's exactly how "fuck you, David" came about. Is like I was laughing at him, and I said David, and they're like, David who? And I'm like, not "fuck you, David," the other David. And then he had to explain that he had to explain it to his significant other that he wasn't "fuck you, David."
Fuck you, David. Is that kind of like White Mark? Is that kind of like White Mark?
David. Yeah.
You know, it's funny because White Mark was over here a couple weeks ago, and he's going to be over here again on Saturday. And he made the point. He goes, so his wife was here, and she goes, so I don't really get why you call him White Mark. I'm like, you don't see it at all. Like there's nothing you see. And I'm like, so I bring up a picture of Mark
Lewis.
Yeah, and I'm like, so you don't see where we might have came out with White Mark at all. You don't see that.
I can't help you.
And she goes, well, I mean, like you could just call him Marcus. I'm like, nope. They both spell their name exactly the same. They're both Marcus. And the other thing is that Black Mark doesn't sound appropriate. So White Mark is what we have.
It's Mark. The BBC, which is also kind of inappropriate.
Yeah, the BBC is also inappropriate.
Yeah, but he takes that title on himself.
Yeah, but no,
that's
David.
The thing about the BBC, Mark, he takes that title on himself. It's not one that's assigned to him.
It's true.
That show, the Bears, actually, it's a very accurate description of the business. Mm-hmm. But if anybody ever has the opportunity, and God, I miss him. Anthony Bourdain. Kitchen Confidential.
Mm-hmm. Good book.
That was good.
Great book.
Bourdain was great.
He committed suicide, right?
Yeah, he did.
Yes, he did.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Suffered from depression. Yep.
He unalived himself.
But that's an important concept that we need to talk about here. So I found out today, like literally today. So a month from next week is when my best friend committed suicide, right? In August. And I found out 2 weeks ago, or almost 2 weeks ago, one of my other friends committed suicide up in Westmoreland. Some of you guys might have seen it on the news here locally. I'm not going to talk about it here. But anyway, there's a huge problem with veterans committing suicide. And I think a lot of it is that people do not, this is the reason why I do the reboot stuff, and I love it. And it's my favorite thing to do is to talk to other veterans that might be in that position. But the reason why I bring it up is because for a lot of reasons. One is I didn't find out till today that there was a military appreciation month. Yeah, that's exactly what I said. Like, I'm not trying to shame any person or any belief or anything like that, but we all know when Pride Month is. But not a damn person on here, and two of us are veterans, don't know when Military Appreciation Month is.
What month is it?
It's May 1st through May 31st. All right.
Boom.
And that's sad. That is truly sad. It's not just sad for people like myself, but it's also sad to like spouses and children and stuff like that, dependents, because those people, like I counted it up one time. I have spent 2.5 years away from my son. Now, that may not seem like a whole lot because he's 16 now, but that's a hell of a lot. All right. Now, if you put some type of drama that might have went in there as well, you'd be in a position where you're sitting there going, what do I do? And people don't think about me, and I don't understand what's going on. Like, it's every day. I don't sleep through the night. All right. So that's me. And I do seek help for that, but that doesn't mean that there aren't other people who aren't, one, seeking help, and then two, maybe not getting the appropriate level of help. Right.
Yeah.
So I don't want to leave us on tonight at literally 1 hour right now, with this negative aspect. But what I do want to do is that, though we have a year from now almost, make sure we really, 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 really celebrate May. I mean,
we should do a thing. We should do a thing about it next year.
Yes, we should. I mean, I literally found out about it today. It was from a Twitter battle that I was watching, and I was like, what? Like, there's a military appreciation month? I didn't even know. Like,
here's the thing that to help us remember. Everybody uses Windows. Go into Windows, go into the calendar of Windows, go into April.
Instead
for last Thursday of April. Make yourself a calendar reminder.
Yeah.
For all day on the last day of April that May is Military Appreciation Month.
And really, we could be at
that way it'll pop up on the last day of April. We'll know.
Well, the other aspect of that is we could be the pioneers to it too. Like, there isn't much discussion about it.
No.
All right. And I'm part of a community that helps specifically student veterans that try to help them traverse college lifestyle because of that, right? And and this is something I didn't know. I didn't even know existed, all right, until today.
Yeah.
And being a veteran, a retired veteran, a disabled veteran, that is a significant issue that I find to be out there, that we need to be more open about discussion and talking about and making sure they are the most important thing through all of May. Like, we just American flags all over the damn place. We're like really celebrating those guys.
It's one of the things you gotta remember, and it's not the jump on the bandwagon. It's the thing you gotta remember. Those people provided us the opportunity to do what we're doing right here tonight.
Yep.
They provided us this opportunity.
I was just thinking about something. We fly the American flag on certain days of the year, Memorial Day and Veterans Day and Flag Day and everything else. But flying the American flag the whole month, along with the branches of the military to accompany the American flag, I think that would be a good start.
Mine flies 6 to 7 months of the year.
Yeah. Well, I was also thinking the branches of the military along with the American flag.
I ain't got enough portrait.
Unfortunately, I haven't served, so I won't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when
it just feel a little weird for us civilians to be celebrating a particular branch or something like that.
Well,
it wasn't me, but people are going to think it was.
Well, hold on. Let me ask you that. So I don't think it's any secret, and I want to end the show like this. So I don't think it's any secret that you're more liberal than I am, right? We'd agree with that. But you do celebrate Pride Month, right?
Sure.
Right? Are you gay?
No.
Okay, so you don't really have any reason to celebrate it, but you do because you want to respect those people, and I understand that, and I get that, and I'm in full support of that as well. What I'm saying to you is that you never served in the military. Why is it May top of mind, the most important, or at least equally as important to you, something that you didn't find out about tonight?
Well, two things. Well, one, because in fairness, I don't think any of us knew about it.
No, I agree. I didn't know about it either.
So today I learned.
Hold on.
And what? Let me finish. And
okay.
Two. I really enjoyed doing the Wounded Warrior Project, the 5K with Ruben. Yep. I love doing that. I would sign up for that. I haven't talked to Ruben in a long
time. That's solid.
You should reach out, or one of us should reach out. Happy to support kind of any community that needs it. So for me, it's not pie. Like, more for one isn't less for another. Like, we can do both. Like, we can absolutely
real quick,
do both.
I do love pie, and so
Pie's
I don't
delicious.
want to knock
pie is fantastic.
Yeah, so I don't want to knock the pie. That's kind of my jam. Pecan pie specifically, or pie with hair on it. But anyway, moving on. Let's.
There we go.
There you go. or
that's where we need to end the show.
And now we
right
brought
there.
it down / up. I don't know.
All right. So anyway, this has been fun. It's been real.
Yeah.
This has been all of that, and I love all of you guys. Thank you guys for the ones that have joined tonight to watch, and for the ones who will watch it later.
David Fraley, love y'all.
Yeah, Dave.
No, I served with David. David's a good guy. That's the not fuck you, Dave.
No,
not fuck you, Dave.
David.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you, David.
No, not David, but the other David. Yes.
The non-fuck you,
He
David.
didn't say
Right,
fuck you
right.
before he said David, so we know he's not talking about me.
Right. So I mean, it'd be the pores or the fuck you, David, is you, and then like the really great David is
I'm
the white
dead.
David.
What does that make me?
All right, so it's been fun.
I'm about to.
Peace out. We're in
This is like
the
camouflage right here. Look at this.
Boom. Later, brothers. Love y'all.